Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm your host Danielle Kumar and I have Candice here.
Hi,
Cheers.
cheers.
And she's keeping me accountable today for not drinking.
Staying
So,
hydrated.
thank
What
you.
reframe it.
Exactly.
Okay, and that is something to add. When you say something like can't have or don't have, right away it feels like you're being taken
That is
something.
true. So we
it's
should
like, I'm
say-
choosing to stay hydrated.
I am choosing to stay hydrated today. But honestly, you always look so fabulous. Thank you so much for us finally coming together and doing this podcast. And what better way to talk about wellness, but with you, because you always look so amazing.
Thank you. Yes, well, it is a core driver of mine. And I feel like once I realized that prioritizing that space, that area of my life, it really elevated every other area. How I think as an entrepreneur, how I show up as a wife, how I show up as a mom. And as women, oftentimes we're juggling these different pillars where we think like, okay, business is super crazy right now. I cannot get to my health right now. Or my motherhood is going crazy because my kids are in this crazy stage. I'll get to that. And it's wild. Most people that I coach, and even in my own walk, like once you get that prioritized, everything else seems to level up.
And that's what we're all here for, because if we're not mentally all there and just coming all together and inspiring each other and really being there, then how are we going to grow as entrepreneurs and also wife, mother,
moms, all the roles we carry.
So yeah, no, wellness and your whole mental state being a mother is so difficult, but your children are so beautiful.
Thank you.
I have to ask you, so who's the more diva one, your son or your daughter?
Oh, my daughter, 1,000%.
Okay.
So
Sometimes boys are the divas.
Yes. But I'll say the challenge for me was definitely with my first, which is my son, because he's wired similar to me in the strong head, knows what he wants. So it's challenged me. My daughter is like, the fun, easy to parent. So it's kind of different. I know a lot of people say it's the other way around.
Did your son take on his father's traits?
No, mine.
Oh, your traits. Okay.
I'm more of this. And so my husband's very calm, very patient, and my daughter totally took on his traits.
Oh my goodness.
We're a good mix in the house.
Kids are definitely so wonderful, but you definitely have to be prepared for them because they will drive you crazy at times.
Or you don't have to be prepared and you learn how.
That's true. There's no manual with having children.
That's so true. But what I found is, like, not just for me, but even people that I get to work with, is our kids reveal so much about us, about ourselves, that haven't been dealt with, that we haven't worked through.
Yes.
So when things come up for us, is it the behavior that's challenging me, or is it the thing that I haven't dealt with? Like, where else has that shown up in my life? Oftentimes it's even our own mother-father wounds, or our own things that have come up, that it's like, now we're in this position where, like, okay, well, you're going to either deal with it or you're going to repeat the cycle.
Yes. Well, I just love seeing all of your stuff online, and I'm just so impressed. How long have you been editing? Because your content is phenomenal.
So I've been online for some time, but I didn't treat it as a content creator. It was just an opportunity to expand my reach as a business owner.
And education. You're so into education.
Yes. So I will say I got intentional, probably the beginning of last year was when I got really intentional about, what do I really want my message to be, and who do I want to speak to? And once you get rid of the filters of, like, how am I going to be perceived? What if somebody thinks this? Almost, it made it easier to be more authentic and to put out that message, because I realized I'm not for everyone and I don't want to be for everyone.
Yes.
And I think initially getting online, it comes with that umbrella of, who am I going to ruffle feathers with? Am I going to...
Oh, people really get very interesting.
Yes,
and
very.
God, I'm so tired of politics. I'm like, can we just all get along?
Yes.
And not be so
and
angry?
That was another thing that really helped me get clear about my time on social media, was I started unfollowing a lot of the distractions for me.
I love that.
So political stuff, just people that made me feel funny, even if it wasn't their fault, like it was a me thing. If it was going to cause me to step out of my creativity, cause me to get any feelings of anxiousness, like, it does not need to be in my world.
I am trying to work on that. If it's not making me money, I have to shut it down.
Or expanding the way I think. That's what I think. Even if it's not making me money, if it's not expanding the way I think if it's not going to feed into my future, then it doesn't need to be in my space, in my time that I'm choosing to be on social media. Because social media can really suck us in. Like,
yes.
I go through the whole real quick, and all of a sudden I'm like, where did these last 30 minutes go?
Yeah. So for 2026, what's your top beauty tip that you would give us advice on?
Ooh, so, well, I'm going to have to go the wellness route.
Okay, yeah.
I feel, so I'm 44, and I feel like one of the things that has really helped me in, just, I don't even want to say aging gracefully, because I'm not ever choosing to age gracefully.
You are
like, I'm going to defy and take all the things and do all the things and the protocols, all the Danielle stuff. But honestly, it has been prioritizing muscle. When I started weight training and really being on top of my hydration and really being intentional about the food that I'm putting in my body.
The hydration is key. If you drink a gallon of water every single day, you feel so much better. And once you get used to it, it really is easy.
I mean, I'm a makeup junkie. I can tell you the best primers, the best this, all the things. And if the canvas itself is not nourished, if it's not hydrated, if you're patchy, all those things, it's like no matter what you put on top, it'll never be its best. So I'm in a little bit of a, because I'm in the gym a lot, and I've had to figure out what are the things that make me feel great even when I'm not wearing anything. And so for me, sometimes it is just a really good tinted moisturizer. I'll use, of course, blush is like my thing. So I always touch up with some blush. I recently got my lash extensions out, which has been a challenge, more so like identity. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to look like a mole.
Yeah. So you do, or you got rid of
took them off.
Okay, but your eyelashes look amazing.
Well, this is,
the strip lashes.
The strip lashes.
But how long would you have to actually sit there to get the lash extensions?
Well, that was the challenge, is that it was the fullness that I wanted them. I had to go at least every 10 days. The drive time, 30 minutes, going and coming. So that's an hour of the drive time, an hour of laying there.
Oh,
and I'm sorry, but 2 hours on top of the expense. I was like, you know what? We need to just figure this out. Took them off, and my lashes are next to nothing.
Miss whenever we would look forward to getting our beauty stuff done?
Oh my god!
Whenever we were younger and we finally made it, and we finally had enough money to get our nails done.
And now it's like, now we're like, darn, I'm gonna have to reschedule this, or I can't fit this appointment in there. I can't, get this done, because I think, our priorities changed, right?
Yes.
Like, we still want to feel beautiful, but we can do it in ways that are not going to take from our time to build legacy, to build businesses, to be purposeful in our time and our work.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's definitely one thing that I'm trying to get better at, is like making sure that, how I look online is how I look in person, but it's hard. So that's why I like filters, because I know everyone's like, you don't need filters and stuff like that, but that's where AI is going. They do auto AI videos and stuff. What do you think about that for content?
Well, I'll speak to something that you said first, and then I'll go to the AI. So I think with the filters, where we need to be cautious is we are in a time where people are done with the fake life, the influencers who are all about stuff and things and lives that are just not relatable to the majority. The content creators that are exploding right now are the ones that are most authentic. So if I use filters myself, however, I've scaled back in the filters that I use. So now I'll just use, like in Instagram edits, I'll use just the one that just kind of softens my skin a bit, but it doesn't change my nose shape, my eye shape, my lip shape.
No, I'm not
all
about
of those things. It just subtly blurs your skin. And that's just a me thing. I need to get over that and just be myself.
But anyway, I can see how the old influencers would get obsessed with it, because a lot of them got too obsessed, but then they try to get all this plastic surgery done, and it's crazy. You could even get nose jobs done with fillers now.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's wild.
The reality is, us as consumers, we fed into that. We loved this like life of perfection. Everything that seemed unattainable was something we were so intrigued by. That's when the Kardashians started exploding and all of this, know. So now I think people are just like, okay, we're done with that. Like, we want to be inspired by people who are living real life, who are actually, not scared to say that they don't have it all together. And so, it is hard because nobody wants to put their mess online, and I don't encourage it. But I think that there is a safe way to say, hey, this is what I'm walking through. and I still haven't figured it out, but these are some of the solutions I think I have.
And I love that because you do your whole consulting. By the way, what's your website again?
CandiceTerrazas.com. So, or on my Instagram is where I do most of my connections and communication.
And I love it how your whole goal is to get business women to really get into their health and fitness and specialize in CEOs, because CEOs are probably the hardest to really coach.
So prior to being exclusively working in health and mindset, I was business consulting and working with top performing entrepreneurs, high accelerating in their goals, mastering numbers that they never thought possible. And one of the things that we always frequently ran into was people who almost felt like they hit a wall. Like, I am doing really great financially, but there's something about me that doesn't feel fulfilled. Like, it feels like something's missing, or I don't feel complete joy when I'm at home with my kids or with my husband. And it was always this little missing piece. When we connected the health piece, hey, so where are you at with this? What would be ideal for you? And the minute we put together a plan around their health, it is insane. Not only did it show up in their house, absolutely, but even in their business performance. And I'm like, what would it look like to spend more time around this? And, of course, in my own journey, before I started, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. And so before I started, doing that, I started to realize the minute I got super serious about my health and making aggressive goals around it, that is just who I am now. I cannot separate that when I go into a business opportunity or when I step into any environment, because that's literally who I am. And this as a business owner, anytime you take a challenge or you take an additional risk, it does grow your confidence to take more risks, right? Because even if you have setbacks and we have what other people might deem as failures, it is really what catapults you to that next space, because you definitely won't make that mistake again. But all of that, I think we can go back to the core of, how do you feel? What is your energy like to keep running at this? Do you have the capacity? How's your mental health? What are the thoughts that are first coming up for you when things come up?
And I feel like thoughts are so important, because I know me, I'm the worst at being an entrepreneur and thinking positive midday. Midday is just always the day that I'm just like, is this really what I want to do? But again, if you're already thinking negative midday, you've got to bring it back and take it back to ground yourself, to really think positive, to attract what you need in business. And that's the biggest piece of advice that someone gave to me, that you need to think about what you want your life to be, even midday. There's a lot of, it's like the Muslims, they pray 5 times a day. And that's kind of what we have to do is, it's okay. There's hurdles, and this is why I'm the owner. I have to go in there and fix it. Because if I think negative about my employees, or I think, negative about a client or anything, that's me attracting or even making that manifesting,
and
right?
It's not even that deep. I mean, that may be.
That's so true.
It's literally, you've been running on fumes. You've been answering, problem solving all morning long, that you get to this point where, literally, what if you just need to take a few good deep breaths? Breath work is something so underrated. If people took time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to a proper box breath is breathing in with your nose, counting to 3, holding it in the pit of your stomach, and exhaling with your mouth. Honestly, that can reset your nervous system. It gets your brain working differently, and you literally may just completely shift how you felt 5 minutes before.
Now, how important do you think a schedule is?
Oh, so
super important,
super
right?
important. If it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. Everything goes in my calendar. I think where I've had to learn to be flexible with calendars, and even with the other business owners and CEOs that I work with, is not being so bound to it to where there's not flexibility. Put it in your calendar because that's your intention. But if it doesn't happen, just move it. It doesn't get closed out if the job didn't get done. Just move it to a different space in your calendar. But give yourself flexibility for things to, and even to add, how many of you are really adding fun into your calendar?
Oh, I like that.
Literally, because if your whole calendar is literally just work, your nervous system is already, your heart rate will already start accelerating the minute you open your calendar up, because you've associated this.
I know I'm guilty of that.
Work.
I literally have to schedule out a girls' day. Once a week, a girls' day, and I'm very particular with who I schedule for that girls' time. That's why I love this podcast, because at the end of the day, we want to be around people that are uplifting and also going around same similar things that we're going through, because it's so hard to make it being a woman entrepreneur. And
and we have the tendency to put ourselves on an island, like we're navigating these things, and because we got where we're at, telling ourselves like, oh, we just got to figure it out, grit your way through it. We don't really talk about it. So unless you're intentional about making that time and that space to have these conversations, like, okay, one, I'm not alone, but two, I'm not here forever. Like there's an out.
Exactly. But I'm so glad that you came on, and I'm just excited about doing more events with you.
Me
and
too.
definitely just having you on and picking your brain. I know that
I would love to.
Yes.
Just, partner with the women. I think, inviting people opportunities to have more conversations around what they're struggling with, what they're navigating as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, as somebody who is ready to conquer a new territory in their health journey.
And to be continued, we got to go over how you get all your clothes and fashion.
Oh, let's go.
I love it.
We'll have a fashion day. How about we do that?
Yes. Hair, skin, outfit, everything.
It's with much effort. But I will say, with Mother's Day around the corner this weekend, take some time to really just, what does that need to look like for me to pour into myself? Is it giving yourself some extra time to get ready and give yourself that beautified 30 minutes? And for me, doing my makeup has even become therapeutic.
Peaceful.
Yes, it's peaceful. Sometimes listening to a podcast, but really taking that time, that extra, 10-minute walk after dinner.
And I always say, if you don't look good, you don't feel good. I
right.
do that a lot, that I'll even go to MAC and get my makeup done. I know that I have makeup artists at my spot, but sometimes just changing the scenery and changing where you normally go.
Just feeling good about it.
It's like, it's always fun to get dressed up and just feel like a girl.
Yes. So I hope we can encourage more women to take some more time for themselves and get their cup filled.
Yes. All right. Happy Mother's Day, you guys.
Mother's Day.
Bye.
Bye.